Alright, I'm going to start my modeling for Blender Challenge Retro, and I'm going to be making this Roman candlestick telephone. So I'm providing you the reference image. The link is in the description. So bring it into Blender, look from the front, and press S3 to scale it 3 times. We're going to model off of this, so just press G and pull it so that the 3D cursor is down, and try to get it pretty much in the middle. You may have to adjust that in a bit. Sort of looking at this area here. All right, let's turn it and let's move it out of the way, pull it back. All right, so the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to be using the screw modifier. So I'm going to press Shift A, mesh plane, go into edit mode and press M, merge at center. So I have just a single point. I'm going to slide that out to the end here. And again, you don't have to be perfect on this, just do what you want. I'm going to press E and G and pull it up like that. And then I press E and G and I'm going to pull in, sort of notch in like that. E and G, come out to here. Then E and G, and just come along the edge and trace the profile. If you can get an even number of vertices, great. And if not, see, I just didn't there. That's fine. So I'm going to come in and come up a little ways. I'm just having fun. I'm not really concentrating too much on how many vertices or where they're placed. Now for this part, I'm going to press E and I'm going to come up like this. And I'm going to pull it quite a bit up to about where I think the circle would be, like that. So that's my profile to start with. Now I'm going to come over to the modifiers and I'm going to turn on the screw modifier. And I'm going to get this. And chances are the polys are flipped. As you can see, the red. So you can just come over here to normals and say flip. And that'll take care of that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look down. And what I'm going to want to do, I'm going to want to move that circle back. So we're going to do that in just a second. I'm just going to look at this and say, all right, looks okay. I'm going to go Control 2 to add 2 subdivisions. And I can always come back and fix stuff up if I want, or even while I'm looking at this I can say, okay, I'm going to move this point this way or that way, but it's actually looking fine to me. Maybe this area, I don't know, we'll see. I'm going to shade smooth on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to apply this, but just before I do, just look at this. The steps here are 16. That's pretty good. That's pretty typical for the circles that I bring in, 16 vertices. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to apply that. And then I'm going to come in and on edge selection, I'm going to Shift Alt and click that. I'm going to look down from the top. And I'm just going to pull this towards the back. Something like that, as much as you really want. So it gets that slope, and the back of it's going to be where it projects upwards. All right, I'm going to come back in and I'm going to press E to extrude. I'm just going to pull it up a little ways. I'll drag an edge loop up to there to just sharpen that up a bit. And then I'm going to take that edge, E and S, and come in, just sort of to finish it off where it would join here. Okay, this little ridge here, and then we'll build the next part. So now we'll just have a look at this and decide, you know, what we want to do. And don't worry if it's a little off the diagram, that doesn't matter. Okay, that's pretty good. So I think maybe I will Control plus a couple of times and just pull this up a little bit more. I gotta do it one more, I guess. And just pull it up just to match the diagram a bit more. And I'll continue from there. All right. Hopefully it's all right. Okay, I'm going to build this as another piece now. So I will come back up to here. And again, I may come in and put more edge loops. For example, I might put one down there to sharpen it a bit. I guess I just did. I'm going to select something here that's central and bring my 3D cursor there. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use the screw modifier just to build this piece. Suppose I could have extended that up, but all right. Another plane, go into edit mode and merge at center. So I have that single vertex. I'm going to pull it out to about here. And I'm just going to go ahead, E, come up, E, I'll come out a bit, E, and maybe I'll go straight, E, and come in. Just make some interesting design that you like. Come into maybe there. It's a little hard to tell what it does. I'll come up, E, I'll come out a bit like that. and then we'll go E, come in a bit, and then just trace the contour of this. It's kind of slopes in and then it slopes out again. So just come up. Don't worry about how many vertices we're putting down it for this. I'm just having fun. Maybe adjust some of these. E, I'll come up to here maybe, and then I'll start going out and around. Okay, so what am I doing? Yeah. Come in, maybe I'll come up straight, and then round again. I'll come up straight maybe to about there, and we'll round it off a little bit and just pull it in. I'm going to start heading home. Let's try that. Screw modifier. Let's flip the normals here. Okay, let's Control 2 and then have a look at this thing. We are going to add some edge loops, and I'll probably, you can do this right now. You can select those 2 points and subdivide, and then take that point and just pull it out a bit, round that a little bit. Yeah, it looks all right. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to apply the screw modifier, and look, and it is a lot of polys, there's no doubt about that. I might scale that in. Good idea is to hold shift and move a bit slower. No, I liked it the other way. But I am going to come in here. Now this is going to be a piece of metal or hard plastic, and so I want some sharper edges here and there. You can try, if you want, Shift E and do a mean crease. That's fine. We could do some mean creases. I often will put edges in. I just find I get a better result. Maybe I'll take this one and scale it out a little bit. We are going to do some work down here where it joins, however. I'm going to pull this down, put an edge loop, what did I do? Under here, and I may take this edge here and scale it in. In fact, I think I'm probably going to extrude it down so it seems like the two kind of meet, and it sort of sticks in there. That's okay like that. And up at the top here, I will grab this and E and S and come in like that just to finish that piece off. All right, maybe we'll turn on the cavity shader and it will look a little nicer. All right, so this is what we've got so far. I'm not really liking this. I'm going to dissolve this edge and take this edge and pull it up and see if I like that better. It's kind of non-distinct now, so maybe I will come back. No, I don't like that for sure. So I'm going to get rid of that edge as well. And I'm going to take this, maybe I'll pull it down, and we'll see if we can get a pleasing shape. So yeah, let's see. I'm just going to scale some of these a little bit. I think I'm better with that. So it's really up to you what you like. I might take this one and press GG for edge slide. Pull it up. In fact, actually, let me scale it. Okay, one of these edges is bothering me. I'm going to try dissolving it. And see, I got rid of that line. So sometimes you might need to do that. It's not a perfect slope or anything, but no one's going to examine this with a microscope. I might take this one in GG and just try to balance these out a little bit more. All right, I'm going to stick with that. All right, we're going to do the top part now. And I think I will do the same thing I did before. I'm going to select the central region here, Shift S cursor to selected, and in object mode I'm going to bring in another plane. I enjoy doing this kind of work. Merge them at center and just pull this up straight up to here. We'll do the cylinder part differently. Okay, so I'm going to pull that up. Actually, it doesn't matter, I can just grab it by hand, and we'll start it off around here and just do something again. I think I'll come up a little bit straighter on these ones. Come in, come up straight. This one may be all round. I'll put a few points here and there, and then I'll come up to here maybe, Maybe I'll notch in a bit and then out. Just having fun with it. Yeah, we'll go up higher. So no, I don't like where I put that or that. So you can grab these and move them just like that. Oh geez, I feel like I did something funny here. So I'm just going to go back and adjust them a little bit. It's pretty forgiving really with subdivision. Okay, and let's see. Let's pull that in and let's notch out so we have a little bit of an indentation. And then let's start coming up. Do I want to just come up straight? I think I'll just come up straight. So I'm going to back off. I'm going to pull it in just ever so slightly and just extrude up. We are off a little bit, so maybe I have to pull in. I got an extra vertex in there. So I'm going to delete that one or dissolve that vertex and pull that in to notch it in. Take these two. I'll take that one and this one. Yeah, I'm just messing around here. All right, never mind. Okay, this one's going to come up to here, and we'll go up to this part, and then this will be a separate piece. We'll do that later. So just extrude out to maybe here, straight up, and here, maybe straight up and in, just a tiny bit. All right, something like that. Maybe I'll come in on this one. Okay, so there's my profile, screw modifier, flip the normals, and Control 2, and we're going to need to add some edge loops to that, but I'm probably going to be okay with that. What I'll end up doing is I'll end up putting a lip on there anyhow, so I'm just going to pull that in right now, and this one I'm going to pull in a little bit more. Actually, I probably will extrude it or make it a little bit flatter. All right, let's go ahead and apply the screw modifier. We can double check that everybody is facing the right way. Yep, they are. Okay. All right, now just do whatever you like. So again, I want to sharpen this up, and I'll put an edge loop there. Let's see what it looks like if I do one there. Yeah, I think I'm going to like it like that. So we get this flat kind of area, and probably one in there, and one underneath here, and down. Yeah, I guess I'm not using the mean crease, am I? I'll put one here so we get this lip-like thing here, and come up here. You can go back and get rid of some edges. You can say, well, you know what, I don't really need that one. You know, things will change. Did I dissolve it? You know, you could do that, and that can help sharpen things up. Or just pull it in. But I want that kind of look. This I'm not crazy about here, so we'll drag an edge loop up like that. We'll put one up here. You know, just do what you think you need to do to make it look sharp, but not too sharp. That's looking great. And somewhat like that. It's not going to look exactly the same. All right, now, so far so good. So let's do this. Let's, I think I'm going to join these. Let's turn that off for the moment. I want that edge there. And that edge there. Right in the middle, Shift S, cursor to selected. Go back in object mode. Okay, now my 3D cursor is right in the middle. I'm going to bring in a cylinder. And I'm going to use, I think, 20 vertices. Scale it down until I get the approximate size. Scale in the Z so it's going up and down equally just so it tucks under. All right. Now I'm going to Control R to add an edge loop and Control B and pull. I just want one edge going up and one going down. And I realize I'm not looking at the diagram, so I'll stop there and I'll go into wireframe. And I'm going to scale in the Z till I get to about the top and the bottom of those arches. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. Okay, that's fine, something like that. Okay, deselect. Press 3 for face selection and Shift Alt and click one of these edges there. And now I've selected the whole row or the around. All right. Now I'm going to press I to inset, but I'm going to press it twice and hold shift and pull in, and that will give me some separate rectangles like that. So just make a size that you like. All right, something like that. Then press E and Alt S and pull them in. Now don't go too far, but come in enough so you get an indentation like that. Control 2 and shade smooth, and it's looking like that. So let's go Control R to add another edge loop, Control B to split it and pull it up until you see the rounding that you like. Don't bring it right to the top. Something like that is good for me. Okay, I'm going to slash key to focus just on that, and I'm going to select this face, and I'm going to select this face, and I'm going to press I to inset, pull it in, and then I'm going to delete those faces. Then I'm going to take the top edge. Nah, you know what? We'll just bring an edge loop up. You don't need to bevel it on both sides, and that'll help with this, with the stretching a little bit too, to tame it. Okay, slash key to bring everything back, and we have that piece in there. Let's turn the subdivision back on this stuff. All right, looks okay. This piece here, which is really this one here, has some other stuff we got to deal with. So let's come back to that. Let's see. I probably will swing that over when we work on that. We could work on that, but let's actually, because our 3D cursor is right in the middle, let's actually work on this thing here. All right. So for this, we're going to start with a circle, I think. So let's just bring in a circle, and let's go for, how about 20 vertices? And scale it down. I'm going to bring this up to about the middle. I'm going to press 1 for vertex selection to just can see it a bit better. I'm going to rotate X 90. And again, we may be off the diagram a little bit, but that's okay, I suppose. Well, if we wanted to, we could take this and GX and try to move it ever so slightly. And maybe that's a better idea. All right, sure, why not? Okay, so we've got that. So what we're going to do is we're going to create this part here that you speak into, and you have to do a little bit by eye. So I'm just going to press E to extrude, and I'm going to pull back, and I'm going to scale down. I'm going to look from the front again, and I'm just going to try to match that circle right there. All right. If you want, we can move this a bit too, if it's really bothering us. There, something like that. Okay, so yeah, and then just look at the diagram, say, have I gone back too much or not enough, or you know, that kind of thing. That's probably okay like that. Okay, with that done, we're going to press E and S and pull to scale it out till we get to that level there. All right, and then by eye, you're going to have to E, oh, I just moved it, E and come back, and we're making this part here, so that thickness, so, you know, not too thick, but, you know, something like that, I suppose. All right, and from the front, E and S, come out to that level. And then we're going to come back a similar distance to this one. Doesn't have to be exactly the same. And then we're going to scale it out and slope it. So now we're going to look, you can look from the side, by the way. You're going to press E to extrude. I'm going to pull out, and then press S to scale. Come down like this. And I suppose we could try to match that circle there. It doesn't really matter that much. In fact, I think I want it bigger, something like that. And then E and S and just come in straight to make a flat area. All right, now let's go and start beveling this. I hit 2 for edge selection, Shift Alt and click there, and Control B, pull, and I want 3 segments. Let's give it a little bit of a bevel. Do these two the same. Control B, like that. This one, Control B. Now we're going to need a bevel here, and we're going to need a bevel here. So just a small bevel there, just to separate it out. And we're going to do one right here as well. It'll just look a little nicer, I think. And I'm also going to want to slide an edge loop up here to make a bit of a lip. We'll do that in a minute, though. So check that. Let's add solidify and figure out which way comes in and which comes out, and just give it a little bit of thickness like this. Okay, And I'm probably okay to apply that, and then I'm going to add Control 2 for 2 subdivisions. And then I'm going to take this edge here, E and Alt S. We'll try Alt S. Sometimes just scaling it works better. But I think that's going to be okay. I'm going to slide an edge loop up here, not too tight. And I kind of like the roundness of that. I'm not sure I like how tight this is, however. So I'm going to grab that edge and S to scale and hold shift and just pull it in to soften that just a little bit. I'm going to do that here. I'm going to, hang on. I may have had another edge selected when I did that. So I'm going to back up. All right, just one more time. Scale that in. This one, scale that in. I might take this edge and slide it back. And I might take both of these and scale them in the Y a little bit to back off. This one I'm just going to, okay, for that you got to press GG and just slide it down. Yeah, I think I'm a little happier with that. Okay, cool. Let's do the little hole pattern on the inside. Let's bring in a circle now and make it 24 vertices. Scale it down. Rotate X 90. We're going to pull it out and make that speaker there. Okay. Press 1 for vertex selection, and we'll go into wireframe. And the way we'll do this is press E to extrude and S to scale just to the outside of these circles, holes really. Pull into the middle, E and S, pull to the outer edge, E, and come into the middle. And this one can be a little bit bigger, it doesn't really matter. All right, we'll go back into solid view now. 3 for face selection and C for paint select, and then click right in the middle of these 4 polys, leaving a space in between so we can make holes like this. There we go. Okay, so now with that done, let's press I to inset, and if it does that, it's because it's remembering the last time we used inset. So press I again. We just want to be able to pull those in away from the edges a little bit like that. Then we're going to turn on individual origins, and we're going to right click and choose Loop Tools Circle, and you see it's crossing the edges, so press S and just scale them in so that it's not touching. And you can also go back to median point, S to scale, and that'll just move them right into the middle. With that done, press I again, hold shift, and just pull in just a little bit more, and then delete those faces. That gives a supporting edge there. Okay, and you can also come in here and manually put a supporting edge on that. Okay, so we have that piece. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to extrude back. And I am going to, I think I will delete that back face. Okay, Control 1 for 1 subdivision. And I'll drag an edge loop out to here. And make sure straight smooth is on. And yeah, that's probably going to be fine. Let's take that piece here. Okay, that piece there. Go to edit mode and push it back in to a position that you are comfortable with, that is actually in the thing. And you can always, scale it out a little bit just to be sure. Somewhere in there. Now check it. That's all right. All right. Cool. All right, so we got that going for us so far. What are we going to do now? Obviously, we'll have to move it forward. We can do that actually right now. We can take this whole piece and look from the side and just pull it forward. It's going to sit somewhere there, and we'll have the attachments on the back of that. All right, let's work on some of that. Let's work on this. Okay, so the way I'm going to do this is I'm actually going to move the reference image over now. And I'm going to slide that over, and we'll try to get it as central as we can. GX, something like that. And I'm going to take this stuff and I'm going to hide it so we can model this piece. Now we could do that just as a cylinder or base it off of this. So why don't we just do that? So let's grab this circle here, Shift D to duplicate it, pull it up, P to break it out. We can stay in subdivision mode or whatever. And so let's pull that down. Let's scale it out. And we'll just start building this. We'll just come up to here, and then I'll press E and come up to here, and S to scale. E up to here. We'll put other edge loops. E, come up to here. I think I'll scale it in a bit, and then no. On the other hand, maybe I'll come right in, and we'll put edge loops in here. In fact, I got to do it right now. It's bugging me, so I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to do that. There's more to do, but okay. So now let's grab this edge here and see where we are at. Okay, so now we're going to do this thing here. I think I will come in a little bit, come up a little bit, and then do that. And we'll see if I like what I've just done there. I've created a little bit of a notch in there, which hopefully will look okay. Yeah, I think that'll add something to it. Okay, so we're back here, and I'm going to come straight up, and then I'm going to angle out with S, like that. E, come up, and you know, the diagram's a little fuzzy, so the reference image is a bit fuzzy, so you can't really tell, so just do whatever you want. I'm going to slide edge loops right now, just to make it a little nicer for me. And I'm there. Let me just have a look at the actual reference and see. It just looks like it flattens out, so I think what I'll do here is I'm going to come up straight, and then E and S come in, and what's on top? Yeah, I'm going to have to close that, so I'll do that. Now I'll come back and I'll add a few more edge loops just to tighten it up, again, knowing that it's, you know, like a piece of metal or hard plastic, and I do want some sharp edges for when I texture this. It will end up looking better. And I'll just look at this here and decide if I want a couple of other edge loops there. I might put one coming down. Yeah, I think I will. And I'll take this and I'm just going to pull it down a little bit further. So that's what I'm getting there. Okay, I'm going to Alt-H just to bring that other stuff back for the moment. And we'll go ahead and we'll model the back stuff. So as you can see, there's this round piece on here, and then there's this stuff. So let's have a look at that here. Let's come over to this, and let's grab a circle from this, maybe that one, Shift D, let's pull it out, P to break it out. And I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, and I'm going to come E to come out a bit, E and S come in a bit, and F to finish that off. And I'll just bevel that edge with 3, and I'll shade smooth, and I'll bring that in to make contact, and we'll see if I like that. And I think I do. I think that's similar to what I've got here. Yeah. All right. Maybe I don't want it so tight, so I'm going to scale that in a little bit, holding Shift, then I'm going to grab that edge and I'm going to pull it back. Just sometimes a little bit softer is nice as well. Okay, so this is probably 16 vertices, I think, so maybe I can use that circle. Let's pull it out, P to break it out. I don't really want the face inside there, so I'm going to choose only faces. And what happened there? Only faces, that's what I wanted. Turn that off for the moment. Let's rotate Z 90, and let's look from the side. And what I want to do is I want to create this sort of rounded piece here. All right, so it's rounded on the outside but straight on the inside. So let's take this, actually pull it right out, and get rid of these vertices. The subdivision is off, that's good. I'm going to take these and extrude them straight, take the whole thing and scale it down a bit, and sort of imagine it's in there. Might actually have gone a bit far. So I'm going to take that and F to make a face, and then push it in. And we can always adjust this. So, what's that, the back? Is that Control 1? No, I don't know where that is. Doesn't matter. Let's give this a little bit of thickness. And I can look from the top if I want to kind of straighten it out. I'll put it roughly there. And just think about that for the moment. I think I'm going to make it thicker. And I'm probably going to push it in a bit more. All right, let's scale that in the X. And if I want to get this centered, I could take this and bring the 3D cursor there, and then take this, set the origin to the 3D cursor, and then set the geometry to origin, and then just maybe have to pull it out a little bit. But I'm actually going to get rid of this face here. And then I'm going to bevel these edges. So Shift Alt and click the edges. Control B, nice big bevel like that. And when I put on the subdivision and shade smooth, it looks pretty good. So. All right, so that piece may have to come out actually a little bit. Something like that. And then on the back of that, we're going to have a cylinder and some bolts. So let's do that. And we'll do a little bit more work, and then that'll be it. And by the way, I should, once in a while, I should recalculate outside. 3D cursor is pretty good, so let's just bring in a cylinder. Let's go 20 is okay. Scale it down. Let's rotate Y 90 and pull it out to about the middle. Let's scale Shift X, not in the axis, to get a decent size. And we're going to scale in the X out to around the edge. All right, then I'm going to select this face, and I'm going to bevel this. Control B, pull back, nice few segments. Since we're using so many subdivisions, who cares, right? All right, I can make it bigger. Maybe scale in the X a little bit. All right, something like that. Let's actually bring the 3D cursor to that thing for the next step. I'm just going to make this a little bit more central with respect to that. Okay, and then I better bring the 3D cursor there again. Okay, we're going to create a bolt or a hexagonal bolt of some sort. So 6 vertices here. And scale this down. And rotate Y 90 and pull it over to the side a bit. Scale it down. F to make a face. E to extrude. Give it some thickness like that. Pull it here. There's going to be something on the inside, so we're not getting rid of faces. That's something like what I want. Press 2 and have all the edges selected, and then Control B, pull, and just roll back. So there's 2 edges, 1 more. Do something like that, and then shade smooth. Okay, let's set the origin to the 3D cursor if it's not there, and mirror that to the other side. So we have that. Okay, now it will all have to come back, but we'll deal with that in a bit. All right, so what else do we need on this guy here? Just those things. And really, I'm probably going to use this and make them thinner to connect to that. All right, so let's do that. Let's try that anyhow. Let's see if we can take this. Shift D, I'm just going to get it out of the way. Come on out. I'm going to P to break it out. And I'm going to take that, go back into edit mode. I'm going to rotate X 90. And I'm going to bring it closer again. Okay, let's see. Let's just S to scale it globally. Just do that. And I might look from the top. I'm just going to G to drag it. And kind of pull it in here. And I think I'll just S to scale it. Maybe S again. And let me just think for a second here. It's under the bolts, which is okay. Okay, it is going to be okay. So I'm actually going to scale it in the X. I didn't know if it was okay if the bolts overlapped it, but I think it is. I'm just going to drag this down. Let's mirror that right now and see how she's looking. So then we can take this and maybe I'll scale in the X just a little bit. And then I just want to look from the side and position this a little bit better. Yeah, okay. I think that could be all right. All right, so we'll grab the end. Let's just bring them down more than we might need to. And let's start positioning this. So grab that and that and that and that and that. Don't forget that. Okay, let's look from the side and just start pulling this back, hoping it's going to clear. And we may need to shorten this. We'll have a look at that in a second. I'm going to grab this edge and just pull it down so it makes contact. Or we can look at this. Well, no, that's the right height, so I don't want to bring it up. And I mean, it does clear for the moment. This is a rather large unit. And so I am going to look at shortening it. If I select those faces and then do this, let me just think about, because I got that on there, right? Let's just focus on this and see from the side, maybe in wireframe, box selecting that. What if I shorten it just a little bit? Yeah, I think that's probably going to be even better. So then I could take this piece and I could position it on again. And then like that, huh? Okay, well, hang on a second. We need all of this to be a little bit more central, so let's do that. And then let's think about this. And take that piece, slide it in. How's that? I'd like actually for this to be there. Is that still in? It is still in. Okay, let me have a look at this one. This one's a little closer, so maybe I don't want it like that. I think I'm going to move all of this back just a little bit, which may negate anything I just did. GY. Yeah, I think I like that better. All right, cool. That's probably how much we are going to do in this video. So let's add the shadow, change this to both, slide these up, and maybe have a look with a matte cap. All right, in my case, I've got some additional matte caps, and I'm going to look with that bronzy kind of one, just so that it looks similar to the reference to see how we are doing. Okay, I feel like that's a little bit high, and so there may be a few things that we have to work on. You know, it's not like I'm probably going to render from that position anyhow. So, you know, we may touch up a few things later. I may decide that this has got to come down and forward a little bit. Okay, but this is what we're getting, and it's looking pretty sweet. All right. Okay, so that is the first part of modeling. We should be able to finish the modeling in the next video, where we do all of the other pieces here that we're missing. We got this part and the cord and that thing, and of course we got the dial to do. I will probably leave the dial in an orthographic position for texturing and then angle it. All right, so we'll come back and we'll carry on with this. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.